ॐ गुरुरेव गति गुरुमेव भजे गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरुः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्मि गुरो मम पाहि गुरु सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतः क्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेदकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकादर आजुहाव पुत्रेदि तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. In this video, I would like to share with you the meaning of the first skanda, first adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavata Purana. So let us go directly into the Bhagavata Purana. The first shloka of Srimad Bhagavata Purana begins like this. Janmadhyasya yadonvayadidaradascartveshvabhigyaswarat tena brahma hridaya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayah तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तगुहगं सत्यं परं धीमहि. This first shloka of Srimad Bhagavada is an invocation. It is the prayer, and it's a very deep verse. Different people who follow different philosophies, they interpret this meaning of this shloka according to their belief, what they follow, according to the philosophies they follow. This prayer, this shloka says, I meditate Satyam Param Dhimahi. I meditate that Satyam, that supreme truth, from which Janmadhyasya, from which or in whom the creation, preservation, and dissolution takes place. And it is that pure truth. It is the cause of this creation, both the material cause as well as the instrumental cause. Swarat, it is completely independent, and it is that Brahman or that supreme truth which imparted or revealed the Vedas in the mind of Brahma, Adikave, the Brahma, Lord Brahma, and in which all the three gunas exist as its power. And out of this, all the elements like Teja, that is the light, Vari, water, Mritam, earth, all these elements came out, but it is not affected by these gunas. That supreme truth, that light of consciousness, that supreme truth, we meditate. So this Srimad Bhagavata begins with a prayer to that supreme being, Brahman. Dharma projita kaidavotra paramo nirmatsaranam sadam vidhyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tabatrayonmolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kride Kim Va Parairishwaraha Sadhyo Hridya Varudhyetra Hridi bhikshushu takshanat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, this describes, or the theme of Srimad Bhagavatam is the dharma followed by the Holy One. The Holy One in whom not even a trace of impurities is seen. That is, the impurities means the faults or jealousiness, anger, greediness, lust. It's not seen in them. So the dharma followed by these holy men, that is described in Srimad Bhagavata. It imparts the teaching of the supreme truth. It imparts the teaching of the Vedas. It is the essence of the Vedas. And Tabatrayon Mulanam, and it removes the three types of obstacles or the three types of difficulties faced by any man in this world. That is, the three type of difficulties means the adhyatmika, adhibhautika, and adhidhaivika. When such a text is available, why should one go for or other text? So that's the second shloka, the explanation of the text, second shloka. The third shloka. निगमकल्पतरोर्घलितं फलं शुगमुहाधमृदद्रवसंयुतं बिभद भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. This Srimad Bhagavatam, it's inviting the samsaris, to hear it, to experience it. What? Experience what? Nikama kalpataror kalitam phalam. The ripened fruit from the tree of the Vedas, from the wish-fulfilling tree of the Vedas, that is the Nikama kalpataror kalitam phalam. So just it is inviting the samsaris, all of us, come, Pibata Bhagavatam, experience, taste this Bhagavatam. And this Bhagavatam comes from the mouth of Shukha Brahmarshi. So it is more sweeter. Even otherwise, in the materialistic world, when a bird tastes a fruit, then it's really a ripened fruit. A bird will not sit on a fruit or taste a fruit that is not so ripe and sweet. So it is coming from the shuka also means parrot or a bird. It implies that it is the words of Shuka Brahmarshi. So it is more sweeter than the fruit, ripened fruit from the tree of the Vedas. So come, Pibada Bhagavatam, all of us experience. It is inviting all of us, the samsaris, to remove all our difficulties in life by tasting this fruit of the Vedas. नैमिषे निमिक्षक्षेत्रे ऋषयः शौनादयः सत्रं स्वर्गाय लोकाय सहस्रसममासत. In a place called Naimisharanya, many rishis were assembled there under the headship of Shaunaka Rishi, a yaga that goes on for thousands of years. It is going on. In that satra, this Bhagavata Purana is recited by the Sutta Pauranika. They request Sutta Pauranika that Sutta Pauranika is sitting among them, and he requested Sutta Pauranika, you know many sastras. You are the son of the Rishi Romaharshana, so you know about all the Puranas, all the sastras, and you have learned under great, great noble guru. So you know about the Vedas, all the rituals, the sastras, everything. Please tell us about that Shastra which will help the people of the Kali Yuga. Because the people of the Kali Yuga, they have these difficulties, and the Shaunaka, the rishis tell about the defects of the people of Kali Yuga. Prayenalpayusha sabhya kalabasmin yuge janaha Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hubadrudaha. People have alpayush, that is, they are not, their lifetime will be very short. They do not have that long lifetime. In the ancient times, just think that if a satra is going on for 1,000 years, then just imagine about the long life of the people there. But now the people are alpayush. If they celebrate even the 60th birthday, they just celebrate it because it is 60 years. They have lived for 60 years. So that is the lifetime of people now. So the Saunakadi rishis, they are requesting Sutta Pauranika to tell about that Shastra, which will help the people who are short-lived in Kali Yuga. Sabhya, Prayen, Alpayusha Sabhya and Manda, they are so lazy. And Sumanta Madayo, they do not have that intelligence, very little intelligence and buddhi only they will have. Manda Bhagya, and they have a lot of ill luck, bad luck, unlucky people. Bhadrada, they have so many physical difficulties. So for them, what Shastra is suitable for them. You know many shastras, but what shastra is suitable for them? Please tell us the. Please tell us. The Saunakadi rishis are requesting Sutta Pauranika, and the Saunakadi rishis they ask 5 questions to Sutta Pauranika, and the questions are. सूतजानासि भद्रन्ते भगवान् सात्वतां पतिः देवक्यां वसुदेवस्य जातो यस्य चिकीर्षया. Bhagavan, that is the Supreme Being, he was born as the son of Devi Devaki and Vasudeva, King Vasudeva. So tell us about that Leela. For why and for what purpose did that Supreme Being took the avatar and born as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva? That's the first question. Apanna samsrudim ghoram yenyama vivasho grinan tada sadhyo vimuchyeta tadbhivedi swayam bhayam. By hearing the name of Krishna, that Lord, hearing about his glories, for everyone, it relieves us from the entanglements of the samsara. From this worldly life, we have so many difficulties. By hearing that nama, by hearing that glory of Bhagavan, it relieves us, it removes all our mental difficulties or the entanglements in the samsara. So, and even the god of death, Yamaraja, is so afraid of him, which implies that when we read Srimad Bhagavada, which a lot of involvement, then we feel that I'm not separate from God. That feeling, each one will get that feeling in the end. So that removes the fear of death in a person. Actually, death and birth are just incidents in the lifetime of the jiva. In the travel of the jiva, they are just incidents. Just like in our lifetime, we have passed the degree board exams, we have passed a degree, PG, doctorate, everything. These are all just incidents in our educational life. Just like that, birth and death are mere incidents in the journey of the jiva. So that's which implies that the death will not give us any fear. So that Purana tell us about that Purana or that Shastra. Ko va bhagavadastasya punya shloka yitya karmanah shuddhi kamo na shrunuyadhyascha kalimalapakam. Who will not be interested in hearing the glory of Bhagavan Krishna, which even the holy men praise it, and which removes the evil tendencies in a person in the Kali Yuga, all the evil effects of the Kali dosha, all the evil effects of the period of Kali. It removes all the Kali dosha. Then who will not be interested in hearing the leelas or the birth of Bhagavan Krishna, born as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva? So this is the first question. And the next questions the Shaunaka rishis asked to Sutta Pauranika is, Tasya karmani udarani parigitani suribhihi bruhina shraddhadananam leelaya thadadakalaha. That Supreme Being, using its Maya, which has 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tama, and he manifested as the kalas, as the three periods, for that is for the creation, preservation, and dissolution. For the creation, he manifested as Lord Brahma. For sustenance or preserving what he created, he took form as Lord Vishnu. And for dissolution, as Hara, that is Bhagavan Shiv. So tell us about how he manifested and how that all happened. And the next question the Saunagadi rishis asked was, कृतवान् किल वीर्याणि सह रामेण केशवः अधिमर्त्यानि भगवान् गूढकपटमानुषः. Bhagavan Krishna Keshava, he took birth as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, and along with his brother Balarama, and he played lot of leelas, and he manifested among he took avatar among the Kabata Manishaka, the people, the human beings, and hiding his Atimartya means the extraordinary powers. Hiding his divine powers, he played many leelas with his brother Balarama. So please tell us about that. And the next question. अथाख्या हि हरिर्धीमन्नवतार कथा शुभाः लीला विदधद स्वैरमीश्वरस्यात्ममायया. Using his Atma Maya, using his Maya power, he took many avatars among different beings. So tell us about that. And the next question. ब्रूहि योगेश्वरे कृष्णः ब्रह्मण्ये धर्मवर्मणि स्वां काष्ठामधुनो भेदे धर्मकं शरणं गतः. When Bhagavan Krishna was there, when he was there in this earth, Dharma was established in him. After leaving his mortal form in this earth, he went to Parandama. After that, after Bhagavan going to Parandama, from where did Dharma get its support? From where did it gain its support? So these are the 5 important questions asked by Saunaka the rishis to Sutta Pauranika. The first question was, why and for what purpose was Bhagavan, the Supreme Being, born as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva? And the next question, how did he manifest as the Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, and took the responsibility of creation, preservation and dissolution? And they tell about his different Leela avatars among different beings. Then what all Leelas he played with his brother Balarama, and by hiding his Amanushya Shakti and born among the human beings, and where did the Dharma gain support after Bhagavan leaving to his supreme abode. So this is the first adhyaya, and these are the 5 questions asked by the Shaunaka Rishis to Sutta Pauranika. And in the next chapter, that is the adhyaya 2, Sutta Pauranika answers for these questions, and Sutta Pauranika begins with a prayer to Shuka Brahmarshi. Yam pravrajjantamanopetamapedakrityam Dvaipayano viraha kadara ajuhava putrede tanmayataya taravudhine dustam sarvabhuda hridayam munimanatosmi. I worship that Shuka Brahmarshi, who was a great Brahmarshi himself, and he is the son of Veda Vyasa. As soon as when Shuka Brahmarshi was born, he went to the forest. He just walked on to the forest at the very early age itself. And the Veda Vyasa, Bhagavan Veda Vyasa, unable to separate from his son, he called and went like, so, Putra, Putra, Putredi, he called like that and went. And Brahmarishi, that Sukha Brahmarishi is all pervading. So for his call, the trees around him and responded. That Brahmarishi who is all pervading, I offer my prayers, or I salute that Shuka Brahmarshi. So the Pauranika says, and again he says, यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेहम् आध्यात्मदीपमतिदिदीक्षतां तमोऽन्धम् संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यम् तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम्. I worship that Shuka Brahmarishi who is the son of Vedavyasa. He explained the Bhagavata Purana for all of us samsaris. Having mercy on us, the samsaris, he explained the Bhagavata Purana, that text that or that Purana which is profound among all the Puranas, and it is the essence of the teaching of the Vedas, and it gives guidance for a samsari, and it removes his ignorance. Shuka Brahmarishi just recited or explained this Bhagavata Purana out of mercy for all of us as samsaris. That Shuka Brahmarishi, I offer my prayers, or I worship him, I salute him. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. I worship Srimad Narayana. I worship Devi Saraswati, who gave us this buddhi to understand this Srimad Bhagavata, and I worship Vyasa, who is the author himself of this Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana. So, saluting all of them, the Sutta Pauranika begins reciting the Srimad Bhagavata. So, let us also worship Srimad Narayana, who is all pervading, and who is in us as our Antaratma, and Devi Saraswati for giving us this buddhi to understand this great, profound text. Blesses us, give us intellect to understand it, and Vedavyasa, without him, nothing will be there, not in the Vedas or Purana. So let us worship all of them and begin this Srimad Bhagavata Purana. Savai bhumsam paro dharmo yado bhakti radhokshaje ahaiduhya pradihada yayatma samprasidati. The greatest dharma of a person, Bhumsam, the greatest dharma of this human life is to generate bhakti towards that supreme being. Do some actions or duty to generate bhakti. That is the greatest dharma of the human life. What type of bhakti? Devotion. What type of devotion? Ahaiduhi. Ahaiduhi means motiveless, desireless devotion. And apradihada. Apradihada means steadfast, single-minded, one-pointed devotion. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says Ananya Bhakti, unseparated bhakti. To generate that type of bhakti is the greatest duty of man. Now, the many people follow dharma. They follow dharma. What they think is by following dharma, we can acquire wealth. When we acquire wealth, with that wealth, we can satisfy our desires. And when we satisfy our desires, it is just satisfying our sense organs. That's all. Sense organs and body, which are so external, and it won't come with us. It's only for this Janma. So when we satisfy our desires, and we spend whole of our lifetime for satisfying desires, acquiring wealth, then it is short-lived. That bhala is short-lived. Instead, if we do action to generate bhakti to that supreme being, then it follows the jiva. So the greatest duty of a person is the highest dharma of a person is to generate bhakti. That bhakti gradually it turns into jnana, and that bhakti which is motiveless, definitely bhakti will have many obstacles. So one should not be yielding. and unyielding to obstacles of that devotion, that will remove all our evil tendencies. That type of generating that type of bhakti is the greatest dharma of any human being. These are the words of the Sutta Pauranika. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadhaituham. That is, devotion to Vasudeva, it generates jnana and vairagya. When bhakti intensifies, when we have bhakti with so much involvement, when that intensifies, with that involvement, automatically jnana will come to us. And when we concentrate so much on Bhagavan, naturally it will lead to Vairagya. Even in worldly life, when we are so much involved in a work, we just don't care about the external disturbance, or sometimes we even skip our lunch or dinner. So much involved in work. We don't feel that hunger or thirst. So just like that, when bhakti intensifies, naturally it will lead to jnana and vairagya. And for that, vadanti tat tattvavidastatvam yajnanamadvayam brahmedi paramatmedi bhagavaniti shabhyate. That bhakti will lead to jnana, and that jnana, by that jnana knowledge, we understand that non-dual being, which that supreme being or supreme consciousness, which some people, that is the Vedantas, call that supreme being as Brahman, and the yogis, they call that supreme being as Paramatma. That name may be different, the form may be different, but that is that supreme Brahman, that supreme consciousness who is all pervading, who is the self of all, who is that Antaratma, Atma of all. That we will realize by bhakti. When bhakti intensifies so much, when we do with involvement, it leads to jnana, gradually vairagya, and we will realize that supreme being. तस्मातेगेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येय पूज्यश्च नित्यदा. And for all this, what should we do? We must have bhakti, do bhakti. What? By doing what? Shrotavya, hear about the glories of Bhagavan, which is praised by even the holy men. Kirtitavyascha, that is, hear, sing his kirtanas, sing his nama, sing his glory. Dheya, contemplate on him, meditate on his form, or meditate on his gunas. Pujaschcha, do external pujas, because pujas also is a great involvement. By doing that external action, we go deep in our mind. So that is also a greatest involvement in bhakti. So therefore, please do all of this. So to do all of this, what should one do? They must have satsang with holy men. Satsang means company with holy men. Only then we will be always thinking about Bhagavan by one way or other, either by singing his kirtanas or by hearing about his glories. When our life becomes too much materialistic, then we do not, in first place, we do not know the importance of bhakti. We think that just to satisfy our desires, we have to worship God. But the Bhagavata says that is completely a wrong concept. So to know the importance of bhakti, we have to have company with the holy people. Our desires will be taken care by our prarabdha karma. So we need not do anything special to satisfy our desires other than working hard. So when we have satsang with holy people, all this is possible. Shrunvatam swakatham Krishna punya shravana kirtanah hridhyandastho hyubhadrani vidhunoti suhritsatam. Shrunvatam Krishna Katham, that is, by hearing the glories or the stories of Bhagavan Krishna, Hridyandastaha, he established in our heart, he enters in our heart. He himself, he gets established in our heart to know the and he removes all the evil tendencies in us. And for Bhagavan Krishna, the devotees are always suhrit. That is, we are always his friends. Bhagavan Krishna, he considers all of us as his dearest friends. So that's the greatness of Krishna Bhakti. When we sing about the kirtanas of Bhagavan, when we think about Bhagavan, he enters in us and he is established in us. He himself gets established in us. And he removes all the evil tendencies in us. Evil tendencies means he removes all the tendencies of rajasic and tamasic nature. By rajasic and tamasic nature only, we do a lot of papas and it creates a lot of discomfort for us and for others, people living with us. So he completely removes that and he improves the sattvic nature in us because he is there. Bhagavan Krishna is there in our heart. By reading Srimad Bhagavada, he enters in our heart and he assumes as his friends, and we can assume Bhagavan as our friend. Suhrit Sada. And what is the use of it? Vidhyade hridaya gandhi chindante sarva samshayaha shiyante chasya karmani drishtaye vatmanishware. He removes the knot in our heart. What is the knot in our heart? Ego, mamata, ahankara, I, it's mine, I want it, I am the best, that is positive ahankara. I am the worst, everyone is better than me, this is negative ahankara. All this, he removes that hridaya grandhi, because of this knot in our heart. We are not able to expand our mind and buddhi. We keep ourselves so little. We think that we are so little because we are infinite. Because of this hridaya granthi, we feel that I am so little. We forget that I am all pervading. We cannot imagine like that. We even fear to think like that. Yeah, I am one with Bhagavan. How many people have this braveness to think that I am Bhagavan? Bhagavan in the sense not egoistic, all pervading. I am that Atma. I am that Brahman. I am that Brahman. How many people have this boldness to say that other than the Jnanis? Because we have that knot in our heart, ego, mind. We think I'm so little, I'm not all pervading because of that Hridaya Grandhi. Bhagavan removes that Hridaya Grandhi. Chintyante sarva samshayaha. When that knot is removed, all the doubts in us will be removed. Automatically it will be removed from it. Kshiyante chasya karmani. It weakens all our papa karmas. It weakens our karmas and we realize Yevatmanishwari. That is, this Atma is Ishvara. We realize that. That is the greatest benefit of Krishna Bhakti. So this the Sutta Pauranika says, and he explains that why bhakti to Vasudeva alone? Why not to other forms of God like the Pitars or the many demigods or yakshas or many demigods are there to Indra or Varuna like that. Why only to Vasudeva? Sutta Pauranika explains. सत्वं रजस्तम इति प्रकृतिर्गुणास्तैर्युक्तः परपुरुष एकः इहास्य दत्ते स्थित्यादये हरिविरिञ्चि हरेति संज्ञाः श्रेयांसि तत्र खलु सत्वतनोर्नृणां स्युः. That is the Shakti, the power of Maya, of that Supreme Being, has three aspects. That is the Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. The Sattva is brightness, intelligence, and knowledge. All that is Sattva. Rajas is activity, and possessiveness, possession, all that is Rajasic guna. And Tamo guna is inertia, laziness, and darkness, that is Tamo guna. The combination of these three gunas is this entire creation. Every form has these three gunas. That's why we too have these three gunas. Some people are dominating in them is a sattva guna. For some rajasic, other two are they were not that dominating. For some tamasic guna. So the three gunas by different permutation and combination for this entire creation. And for this, assuming these three gunas, that supreme being manifested as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So that is the manifestation. For one is responsible, Lord Brahma is responsible for creation, Bhagavan Vishnu for sustenance, protection, and Bhagavan Hara, that is for dissolution, Bhagavan Shiv for dissolution. That is Hari and Hara, protection and dissolution. So that's how this entire creation is. Sattva guna is brightness, Rajo guna is activity, and Tamo guna is darkness. The Sattva guna is very close to liberation and knowledge, whereas Rajo guna and Tamo guna are very close to manifestation, creation. So for creation, one needs three of them. For satisfying our desires, for activities in this loka, in this Nara loka, Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva, these three combinations are absolutely needed. But for liberation, Sattvic guna is needed more. That must be dominating. And Bhagavan Vishnu, Vasudeva, he is the embodiment of Sattva guna, and that's why holy men who desire jnana, who desire moksha, who desire liberation, they worship Bhagavan Vishnu or Bhagavan Vasudeva or Srimad Narayana. He is the embodiment of Sattvic nature. Whereas some people, they worship the demigods, they worship the Pitars, they worship Yakshas and Prajapatis. They are interested in the worldly life. To satisfy their desires, they worship different forms other than the form of Lord Narayana or Mahavishnu or the Lord Hari. So that's how it differs. It all depends upon, bhakti depends upon our state of mind, our mentality, our desire, our icha, like that. But one who prefers jnana or liberation, they have to go worship Vasudeva. Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramakaha, Vasudeva Parayoga, Vasudeva Parakriyaha. That is, Vasudeva is the Paraveda. He is the Vedas explain Bhagavan Vasudeva. The fruit of the Vedas is Vasudeva. Every ritual, everything is Vasudeva. The Vedas explain Vasudeva. Vasudeva Paramakaha. Maka means the yajna. He is the fruit of all the yajna. He is the yajamana of the yajna. At the same time, he accepts the oblation given in the yajna. The fruit of all the yajnas is Bhagavan Vasudeva. Vasudeva Para Yoga. The yogis, they do yoga to attain. Their aim is Bhagavan Vasudeva. Vasudeva Parakriyaha. All the rituals, they end in Vasudeva. He is that all the goal of all the rituals, everything is Vasudeva. Vasudeva Paranyanam, Vasudeva Parantapaha, Vasudeva Parodharmo, Vasudeva Paragadihi. Vasudeva is the Parajnana. To understand him, he is the complete knowledge. When we understand him, we have attained that supreme knowledge. Vasudeva Param Tapaha. He is the fruit of all the tapas. The great tapasvis, they do tapas to attain Bhagavan. Vasudeva Paro Dharma. That is, he is the greatest dharma. That's what Sutta Pauranika said. The greatest dharma of any human being is to attain him and to have bhakti, do something to generate bhakti towards Bhagavan. Vasudeva Paragadihi. He is the one and only destiny. He is the aim. He is the goal for all the people who want to moksha. So he is that supreme being. स ये वेदं ससर्जाग्रे भगवानात्ममायया सदसद्रूपया चासौ गुणमय्या गुणो विभुः. He is the creation as well as he is the created beings. He is the Sat, he is the cause. Asat, Asat Rupaya, but that is he is the Rupas also, that combination of the gunas and elements. He is the Rupa also. He is the cause as well as he is the manifested beings. He is the Guna. He is the Nirguna. He is Guna means he has all the three gunas in him. He identifies with his powers, that is, he has gunas. And Nirguna also, beyond the gunas, he is both that. He is Vibhu, all pervading. That is that supreme being, Vasudeva. Taya vilasiteshveshu guneshu gunavaniva antah pravishta abhati vijnanena visrumbhitaha. That is after creating all these forms. That is, he creates all the forms by the combination of the gunas, and by the combination of the gunas, the combination of the elements. He creates these different forms. After creating these forms, Anta pravishta means he enters in these forms. How does he enters in these forms? He identifies with these forms. At the same time, he remains in his own self. So he is not affected by these gunas. He creates these forms by combining the gunas. After creating the forms, he enters in that form. How does he enter? He identifies with that form, and so that form gets a chaitanya, and he enters in them. But he is not affected by the gunas of that form because he is completely self-aware of himself. That is his greatness. We too identify with our body and mind. When we identify with the body and mind, we completely forget our real nature. But Bhagavan, he identifies with the forms. At the same time, he remains in his own self, that is, as Atma, that Parabrahma, he remains in as. Asau gunamayer bhavair bhuda sukshmendriyatmabhihi swanirmiteshu nirvishto bhunte bhuteshu tadgunan. After entering in these bodies, that is identifying in these bodies, what does he do? He enters in the sense organs, that is, through the sense organs, he experiences, he enjoys, bhunte, he experiences or enjoys the different sense objects. Through the senses, he enjoys the sense objects as jiva. So he is the Jiva as well as the Parabrahman, Paramatma. He resides in us because he identifies with these forms and he enjoys this world, that is, enjoys the different sense objects. Bhavayatyesha tatvena lohan vai loga bhavanah leelavataranuratho devatiryang naradishu. After creating these forms, different beings, he manifested among different beings, and thus he took different avatars. He manifested among different beings, not only with the human beings, with the different beings he manifested among the different beings. He took avatars among different beings, and he took many avatars to help the human beings, to relieve the human beings from the samsara, from the obstacles of their life, or relieve them from samsara. So that Leela Avatara Katha is explained in the next Adhyaya, Adhyaya 3, which I will continue in my next video. Sri Narayana Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste.